Yo, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and right now, I'm in the process of writing a book called How to Find Your Divine Soulmate. And you guys may have seen some of the videos that I've done about that. This is the second book that I would have written. Some of you guys have went out there to my website, coachrenz.com/coaching, and purchased my book of How to Escape Mental Welfare, and I greatly appreciate that. This book, though, is all about getting you ready to getting you in the mindset and being able to pick the right person to be your divine soulmate, right? So that you can have a clearer understanding. But here's the beauty of writing a book. Anytime you're writing, more and more information starts to come to you. Things come to your remembrance. I had to go back and grab one of my old journals. Now, I understand you can tell that this journal has been through it. I had this journal for a long time, but there was some information in this journal that it hit my brain, it was brought to me, that I needed to add to the book, right? And what is that subject matter? And I want to share some of that with you guys right now. And what that is the idea of when you say a person is feeling insecure, or a person is insecure, or a person is jealous within a relationship. Now, there is a fine line between the emotional state of jealousy, the reality that a person may create that does not exist, that causes them to have an insecurity, which then gives jealousy. But there is another aspect of it that we may not realize, that we're creating the uncertainty in the person. We're creating the insecurities in the person that we're with. And I want to break that down for you a little bit. You see, as I'm writing this book, there is a portion where I'm talking about how the person that you're choosing, the person you're with, they have to be so trusted that you can tell them your deepest, darkest secrets, and they still won't judge you harshly. When they criticize you or they correct you, they do it in a loving way, not in a way that has spite and resentment in it. That when you need somebody to vent to, they're trusted people that you both agree can be trusted to vent. They're not going to take advantage of the situation, and they understand forgiveness, so that when you forgive them for their transgressions, that person can too. Not like how some family members, they will hold every evil thing against the other person that they can possibly find. So when I'm talking about all of those, and those are in 3 different sections, but when I'm talking about those things, they culminate to something. And one of the things they culminate to is that they can create an environment, if done incorrectly, to make the other person insecure. And I know you may be saying right now that if a person is insecure, then they already had those insecurities. If a person is not confident in a relationship, well, that's something that they need to work out. But I need you to look a little bit beyond the fine line of insecure and confident. There is a gray area. There's a gray area where you can create the insecurities within the person. Now, one of the information that I had to go look up, that I went to go get, is something that I wrote a while back, and it's this part of my book. I know I like targets, so get over it. But when I wrote this a long time ago, one of the things that I realized that every person needs certainty in their life. The one thing that everybody wants is certainty. The reason why many people are afraid to become entrepreneurs is because they feel like having a job gives them the certainty of a check. Whereas entrepreneurship, you may not have that certainty of a check. Even though you can get fired today. Your boss can come in and fire you today for no reason whatsoever, just to downsize anything. But if you're an entrepreneur, you are the one who fired you. But that feeling, that emotional state of certainty of having the check, can cause a person to feel confident and not allow them to go out and become an entrepreneur, because they want that certainty. We say that we want uncertainty and we want variety, but that's not necessarily true. We want the uncertainty, the variety that we like. We don't want any uncertainty or variety that we don't like. We don't want the surprises that we don't like. We don't want the surprise bill. We don't want the surprise sickness. We don't want the surprise death. We don't want the surprise breakup. We don't want any of those kinds of surprises. We only want the surprises that we like. The romantic surprises, the vacation surprises, the grandkids surprises. We want those, and that's depend on the person and their situation. But we want those good surprises. So we don't like uncertainty. We like to have certainty in our lives. Everybody does. And when it comes to a relationship, there is a level of certainty that you want. There's a level of certainty that you want. You want to be certain that the person loves you. You want to be certain that the person is not harming you. You want to be certain that the person is not cheating on you. I did a video a while back talking about having work spouses. And I know that there was a recent study that said having a work spouse is a good thing. Hell no. Hell to the no. Having a work spouse can bring so much turmoil into your relationship that you're giving your emotions to somebody else. You're allowing an attachment to somebody else who's not your husband. You're telling secrets and things like that to somebody that you and your husband or you and your wife have not agreed upon is a person that is qualified, or a person that you both agreed to be a venting platform for you. You add an element of uncertainty in the relationship. And when you as a man or a woman add an element of uncertainty, you add a secrecy, but you want to blame the other person for being insecure, for having insecurities. Well, you did something. You took their certainty away. You see, there are 6 states of being for a person. And I'm not going to go through all 6 states, but the first 2, the 2 at the core, is certainty and uncertainty. Variety. You are messing with your mate's core when you lie about where you are, your location, when you lie about what time you're going to be home, and you don't give a call to say that I'm being held up because of XYZ. When you come home, you've been working all day, you didn't go to the gym, you smell like a fresh shower. You're creating uncertainty. You're creating the situation where the person is justifiably mistrusting of you, which gives them an uncertainty, which causes them to have insecurities. Let's think about it. Insecurity basically means a feeling of not being secure. It's like not knowing if you're going to eat the next day. See, I've been in that situation. Where I didn't know if I was going to eat the next day. I've been in that situation if I didn't know if I was going to be evicted the next day. I've been in that situation where I didn't know if I was going to be able to feed my family the next day. I know that uncertainty, right? But I also know the certainty of when I go to buy something, I just swipe my card. No thought, no conscience of it, because I know that there's tons of money in there. I've been in a situation where I know I'm going to come home and my house will be there, that all the bills are paid. I know certainty and I know uncertainty. It has nothing to do with insecurities, right? It has something to do more with the environment. And that's what I want you guys to understand, is that if you're in a relationship, but you're creating an environment where the person does not have security within the relationship, where the person is free to think any old thing based on your actions and your patterns, then why are you calling them insecure? They have a right to be insecure. They have a right to feel like their relationship is not secure. They have a right to feel like your love for them is not secure. They have a right to feel like you may be doing things that is subversive to the relationship. And if you are, then you need to either stop and change it, the full alchemy of the brain and the heart, stop and change it, or you need to remove yourself from the relationship. In the relationship. It is far better to end a relationship because you want to go somewhere else and do something else than it is to stay in a relationship, punish the person by you going out and doing something else, being somebody else, doing something with other people, causing this person to feel insecure, causing this person to have uncertainty, creating argument and turmoil here, and you're out here trying to do all these things because at the end of the day, you're in the middle. And when you're in the middle, if you're a decent human being, you're gonna feel a lot of guilt for everything you're doing over here, and the guilt is coming from the things you're doing here. So instead of going through that process, center yourself and just leave this part alone, leave it amicably, and then go do what you want to do without any guilt. Without any guilt. And then learn how to choose better. Get yourself squared away. Open yourself up for the right things, to be the right person, to have the right mindset and the right energy and the right flow, so that you can be with somebody else who flows with you and not somebody who flows opposite of you or whose flow does not go with yours. I mean, if I'm flowing to the left, I don't need to be with somebody who's flowing to the right. If I'm going north and you're going south, we're not going to go together. So we got to make sure that we're going together. This is what this book, How to Find Your Divine Soulmate, is really about. It's about you getting into your flow and then being with a person who can flow with you. They don't have to be perfect. They're not going to be perfect, but they can be perfect enough for you, which makes them your divine soulmate. Because when you find them, you will find them spiritually first before we get to the physical. Although you will get yourself together physically first before we get to the spiritual. And that's what the book is that's what the book is about, because I'm writing it now. That's what the book is about. And so get ready for that. In the meantime, go to coachrenz.com/coaching and purchase my book, How to Escape Mental Welfare. And if you want to get your 2018 started out right, go over to the same page and sign up for either 1, 2, or sign up for all 3 webinars that'll be going on the first 3 weekends of January. I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being here, for listening. I'm really excited about this book. I really am. I'm really excited about this book. And as always, free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And also, lastly, join me every Tuesday night for Zen with Renz. Also, join me on Sunday night with Kevin Wesley on his podcast. And hey, love you guys. Y'all have a good one.